Alan, on the other day when Hassan Mahmoud bowled Balbarni out, you were commentating and you were saying he is a great find for Bangladesh. And how did you see Hassan? You were seeing him bowling today. So how did you see him?
Well, it was the first time I'd seen him bowl, and I saw his numbers 5 for 32 against Ireland in Bangladesh. And I'd read about this new fast bowler. The first thing was the simplicity of action, a very nice approach, lovely, easy action. And the first three balls that he bowled were little gentle OA swingers, and then it was a very subtle change of wrist position here, and he bowled that in swinger with a lot more pace. So he bowled three OA swingers, three induckers, and then the ball that he got Andy Balbirnie, the Ireland captain, was just such a great delivery, and it's done with a very subtle change of wrist position. And you've got to be a good bowler to be able just to have the confidence in your head to be able to just to change that wrist position. So to me, he looks a really great find, and also his action is such a repeatable action, and he seems to bowl within himself. So I think when it comes to, say, the longer forms of cricket, the test cricket, he'll be able to bowl long spells. I think he looks the real deal.
Would you like to admit that not only skillfully, he is mature in his brain as well with these in-swingers and out-swingers?
Well, he's a thinking bowler. He doesn't just run up and hope for the ball to do something. So you can actually see the strategy in his head. You know, as I say, a couple of outswingers. Is a little bit like Glenn McGrath, how Glenn McGrath would just bowl away swinger, and then dip in the in-swinger like that. So I can pay him no higher accolade than to say that he looks like a little mini Glenn McGrath to me, because he's got that kind of action. I mean, Glenn McGrath's a taller bowler, but he's got the kind of action and the kind of subtle change of wrist and pace that we used to associate with Glenn McGrath. A little bit like Jimmy Anderson for England, although Jimmy, I think, swings it a bit more. But the basis is there. He is a mature, thinking bowler, and he's got the plans in his head to deliver. So for me, he's an architect with a lot of good plans.
With Hassan, Bangladesh right now have Ibadat, Taskin, the Fiz is there. So Shariful is there, the lefty pacer. How would you rate this Bangladeshi pacer?
When I first came to Bangladesh, I'm talking about 2000, 2001, with respect, there weren't fast bowlers. I think I was speaking to my friend Shamanoy Ghosh, who reminded me of Tapash Boisha, little Khalid Mahmood, just gentle pace. It was all spin. Now you've got this fast bowling battery with Alan Donald there, and you can't have a better coach than Alan Donald in the fast bowling ranks. So I think Bangladesh are a finished unit in the sense that you've got all bases covered. You've got terrific batting, great spin bowlers, all-rounders, and you've got fast bowlers. So all the names you mentioned, and it's competition too. Let's not forget that Shariful Islam played in the first match here. Mustafizur did not play. And I can tell you that with Mustafizur was sitting on his backside here, he wanted to play. You want to play. You don't want to sit around, even if it's a squad system. So the competition is healthy. Tuscan is not here, but you've got competition for places. And you know, if you compete, that brings the best out of you. That's what it should do. So Bangladesh, for me, have got great depth and quality in their fast bowling.
You were saying you first saw Bangladesh play in 2000 or 2001, and now it's in 2023. So how far did you think Bangladesh went from that place to now as a team, as a unit, as an all-round unit, from batting to fielding to bowling?
It's developed. It's beaten all the sides. Any of the big countries, you know, your England's, Australia's, India, who come to Bangladesh, they lose cricket matches. Bangladesh at home are a very, very difficult team to beat. So I think coming to places like Chelmsford, coming on more trips away from home, will develop even further the ability to win matches, to win series. All the component parts are there. Bangladesh have invested, not just financially, but invested in programs to find fast bowlers, to develop spin bowlers, to develop leaders, and they've got them. Look at all the Shakib Al Hassan has been the world's #1 T20 all-rounder and ODI all-rounder for so long. So he's a flag bearer. There are flag bearers for Bangladesh. Mushfiqur Rahim, you know, all these guys. I could go through the entire team. So it's been a long process, but it's been one where good lessons have been learned, and Bangladesh are the real deal. They really can cause some damage to a lot of teams in the world now.
নগদ পেমেন্টে পাচ্ছেন কোটি টাকার BMW ঘন্টায় ঘন্টায় 100% ক্যাশব্যাক।
Talking about causing some damage, this is a World Cup year. 2023 50 over World Cup is 4 months ahead of us, and it's in India, neighboring country of Bangladesh. So seeing this team and seeing them perform, how far do you think Bangladesh can go to the World Cup?
Look, it's over the 50 over stretch. A lot can happen, but this is a team that has the ability to get to the semi-finals. You know, from the semi-finals, it's anyone's game. But this is a team that has all the component parts. The squad is blessed with pace. You've got spin. You've got all-rounders. You've got top-order batters. So Bangladesh, for me, I won in India, in those conditions, in conditions that won't be too dissimilar from Sherry Bangla or Sylhet or Chattogram. So I think it's a team that can go far in the tournament, and it believes it can. That's the important thing. Tamim Iqbal is a great leader of this side. He's been around a long time now, Tamim, and he leads by example. And I think he will instill this feeling of belief, the sense of belief. Watch them train here, watch them practice. They believe in themselves, and they could be a force in India.
And you were saying about Shoriful, and there is Tawhid Ridoy as well, who were the under-19 World Cup champion, and you were there.
Yes.
So seeing them playing in international cricket right now, how does it feel, and how far do you think they can go?
Well, it's great to see them. I mean, I remember Shariful Islam has been the tall, lanky, left-arm quick bowler who made an impression in South Africa in 2020. Mrityunjoy was also there, but he was injured for the final, so he went home. But and even before that, Mehdi Hassan Miraz, you know, captain in 2016. So it's fantastic to see how the program is working. Under 19, you know, under 15, under 17, under 19, the levels are working. And so when you're producing that, then if you're the BCB, Bangladesh Cricket Board, you're actually congratulating yourselves because it's working. The system is working. So how do I feel personally? It puts a smile on my face. And to see these boys here, you know, under 19 cricket for me is important. It's important to see the development. And if you see, I mean, the first under 19 tournament I did was 2008 when India won it. Virat Kohli was captain. Jadeja was in the side. There were so many good players. Kane Williamson was New Zealand's in the New Zealand side. Tim Southee. So the system is a great system by all the countries who invest in it and who see these boys coming through to the top level.
You are commentating for almost 4 decades right now, and Bangladesh unfortunately haven't produced many commentators, but here my friend Shamannoy Ghosh, he's one of them, and he's commentating with you. How did you see him, and do you think he has a great future ahead?
Now that's a question. Yeah, he's got a lovely voice, great attitude, he knows the game, he knows the players. It's the first time I've worked with Shamannoy. I think he's got a great future, and you need voices from a country. You know, we very much used to Shamin Chowdhury, Athar Ali Khan, and so to have a fresh voice in the commentary box from Bangladesh is always good. And again, I go back. It's not just competition. It's just having another viewpoint, another perspective, and it's a learning process. Who's to say that somebody from this group in a couple of years' time might want to pick up the commentary microphone? Because it happens in India, it happens in Pakistan, it happens in England. Nasser Hussain, Michael Atherton are the 2 leading commentators, 2 former England captains. They're in the commentary box. So I think it's encouraging to know that Shamannoy Ghosh is a new voice from Bangladesh, and I hope I work with him for many more years.
One last question from me. You are being a versatile commentator. What would be your advice to a young guy in Bangladesh who in future wants to be a commentator?
Oh, how long have you got? It's firstly enthusiasm. Your heart has got to be in it. You've got to prepare. it's knowing the game. Obviously, it helps if you have been a player. If you've been a former player at the highest level, that also helps. You know, I refer to Nasser Hussain and Michael Atherton here, former England captains. Preparation is key, knowing the game, and just having a broad mind that it's great to be involved, but it's also a system where you don't do everything. You know, there's ups and downs in the journey. And I've got plenty of those, lots of ups, lots of downs where you don't make a tournament. It's a bit like playing. You know, you're not going to play every game. And you're not going to commentate on every tournament. And sometimes when you're left out, you feel, what can I do? How can I make myself better? Don't go and sulk. Make yourself better. And that's I think, how players should adopt. You know, if you're left out of the side, why have I been left out of the side? Make yourself, for the selectors or for the people in television, make them not ignore you. Make yourself that good. So it's a great journey, and it's a very rewarding a career, but you have to work hard. You have to work hard. There's no shortcuts.
Thank you. It was very nice talking to you.
Thank you.